Hello everyone, welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Last time we were talking to some people in camp and I didn't really talk to Zevran.
Here I am.
Might help me remember his name if I talk to him more.
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training. The sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
It doesn't take any special skill?
I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
I don't know why I didn't just completely think about that assassin is his class. It's not just yeah, I know that's so stupid, right? Uh, I guess that's partially because with Alistair, Templar doesn't feel like his class. I mean, he's a warrior, but his specialization is Templar. But it doesn't feel like that's his specialization. It feels like he's a guy that fights with a sword and a shield. And, Sten is a warrior. It makes sense. Morrigan, she's got a staff. She's casting magic. She's a mage. Like, it makes sense, but you don't really think of them as their specialization so much, right? But I don't know why suddenly it just hit me that he's an assassin and that's his specialization, right? That's kind of like this might sound a little stupid. It's gonna sound stupid. I never realized, I guess, back in 2011 when I was sinking 500 hours into Skyrim, I never thought that what I was doing most of the time was clearing dungeons. In my head I was exploring these old tombs or exploring ruins or whatever. I didn't think about it as dungeons, right? And now I can't unsee that. If I'm playing Fallout and I come across a vault, I don't, you know, normally you wouldn't think, oh, a vault, that's a dungeon, but from a gameplay standpoint, it is. This is all a really silly and weird place to start off with this episode, isn't it? I'm gonna let y'all peek behind the curtain for a second. It's like 2 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep, so I figured I would continue with Dragon Age, talking to Zevram. I think I do prefer a straight up
And
battle.
I don't imagine an assassin's life would be one for you. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Hmm?
Hmm? Yeah, yeah, alright, yeah, no big deal. Okay. Uh. See, I almost lost Zevran in camp here because I put this silly helmet on him and it makes me think of Sten. Okay. Uh. Also, I ended up doing this off camera because I was doing inventory stuff, clearing out inventory space. But I talked to Bowden over here, and I learned some interesting things about him. I don't think we can trigger it again, but you have to pass a persuasion check to learn his background. But Bowden here was a merchant in Orzammar, like underground in Orzammar, and he was selling various, like antique odds and ends and things, but turns out he was getting these things from the deep roads. Like, dwarves were going on expeditions into the deep roads. They were killing darkspawn, bringing treasure back. And, somebody brought in these bracers. Well, it turned out a noblewoman came in and she became very upset. And she said that he stole these bracers, that they belonged to her brother who died in the deep roads. And he ends up fleeing Orzammar with his son. Well, we also learn that Flip Flop over here, he's not actually Bowden's son. Uh, he was found. Bowden found him in the Deep Roads, and he he says he's never quite been all there, and he doesn't know if it was like he was. The way he puts it was he lyrium addled, and that makes me think that people use lyrium. Let's see if we have some lyrium we can look at. A potion that contains a small amount of refined lyrium. Lyrium potion instantly restores a portion of the user's mana. Only spellcasters can use it. It makes me wonder if it's similar to a drug in its effect. Like if it's something that you can ingest and receive some kind of high from. But anyway, yeah. So he pretty much adopted. Bowden adopted him, and he brought him out with him, and he says he's useful to him. He kind of acts like it's not, a noble thing that he took the boy in, that he's useful to him because he can enchant things, and that makes money. Just in case, let's talk to the dog. Okay, so we're gonna pet the dog. Make sure to pet the dog any chance we get. But I just wanted to make sure we didn't have any more of those incredible interactions. But let's go on. So we're gonna do one of two things in this episode. I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but we are going to do one of two things. We are either going to redeem ourselves, or we're not going to redeem ourselves. Alright, I want Morrigan. Let's take Alistair. Now this is the hard part. Two rogues or a warrior. I kind of, I feel bad for not taking the dog, but he's a good boy. He is a good boy. But you know what? We'll take the dog. Let's see how that goes. And what we are going to do is we are going to go to Orzammar. We're going to try. And I'm hoping at some point we can come across a merchant to buy some healing potions from. Actually, I've got Morrigan with me, so oh geez. Alright, Morrigan, I need you to attack that ogre. We are going to see if we can... Looks like he resisted that. Probably resisted that too. I'd say that went pretty well. Okay, while I'm here, I think we're going to use Morrigan's ability to create some potions for us. Which, coincidentally, we're getting a bunch of elf root. Look, there's some more. But she can make us some lesser health poultices, which at this point they're not doing a lot of healing for us, but having quite a few of them can be good for us. We can use those when we're not exactly in a tight spot. Herbalism. Oh, look, she has the ability to make Mabari Crunch. It's a mystery why the fighting hounds of Ferelden desire treats composed partially of plant matter. The crunch is also a mystery. Mabari Crunch restores a small amount of a Mabari hound's health and stamina over time and cures it of a single injury. That is pretty powerful. What does she need for a lesser lyrium potion? Lyrium dust. Okay. And she just needs these to make lesser health poultices. I love that the sound just kept going. We also got a level for Morrigan. Is willpower? She can cast more spells. Yeah, let's put a bunch into that. And then I think magic. Yeah, potency. So we'll put that up. Actually, what is it? Shapeshifter is her specialty. Okay. I mean, we knew that, but let's increase her ability to make potions. And it would take quite a ways to get her to be able to cast Fireball. Let's see. I think we're going to do... see, Friendly Fire is possible on like all of her spells, but... Actually, I'm going to give her the ability to heal. Oh, I didn't realize I have two spell points. So that makes this a little bit more... a little bit more better. We're going to give her heal, and we'll buff her ice magic. And we have a level up for the Dogger. Like, what do you level for him? I mean, he's a dog. Well, I guess we just pump up his actually, we pump up his strength and constitution. He's gonna tank. Mabari has undergone rigorous combat training, giving it bonuses to critical chance attacks and armor. Or the dog lunges at an opponent and tears at it with powerful jaws. If the attack hits, it's an automatic critical. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. This body over here can be looted. We got some silver. Alright, so... But yeah, I would very much like to come across a merchant that sells some better potions, but if not, we'll work on making sure Morrigan can make us plenty. Now, the tenuous nature of this. What if we got attacked on the road again? Okay, it doesn't look like there's bounty hunters up here. Look at these stout little statues. Okay, I know there's some merchants here. I know one pretty much sells armor. So we don't care about him. Dwarf. Surface dwarf. Food. Okay. How am I supposed to... What is this animation? It's like he's like, come here, look at my wares. And he's just pointing at nothing. Oh, what's this guy's deal?
You're not interested in something? I've got the finest
Oh,
selection of previously
yeah.
owned armor and weaponry this side of Val Royale.
Let's have a look. Why not? 24-hour lifetime character. Uh, okay. He has lyrium potion. Now, if... Now, see, okay. Can we get... It does better damage. Oh, a Kunari sword. Okay. A red steel dagger. It's better than... just across the board. It's an upgrade to what I've got. So that's... Oh, it's weird that it shows it. I know, hang on. I can compare it to Morrigan. Actually, what she has is just fine, you know? Knight Commander's Plate. I cannot afford that, but that's pretty legit. Portrait of a Goose Girl. A painting in a golden frame showing a girl with windswept hair tending to a flock of geese in a snow-covered valley. Huh. Not quite sure what to make of that. But I do know we're going to pull off this normal dagger. Throw on this. Let's talk to him again.
See some of the best previously owned equipment in Thedas, friend?
Thedas.
Of course.
I hate when people talk like, of course.
Lifetime guarantee.
All right. Have a dagger. I don't want to sell any of this stuff because I eventually would like my dudes to be able to use it. Okay. Let's see what other...
Something I do not understand, Alistair.
Just the one.
Oh, dang it.
You wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well armed to notice a rogue merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up.
I don't remember if he actually sells anything.
Even if we're denied a cast, the semblance is we turned our back on the stone. But they still use the goods we bring.
So I'm guessing the stone, like how the dwarves refer to the stone, is kind of like that's their way of...
Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade store.
That's the way they refer to the maker, I guess, or to their gods or god.
I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
I like how we get an interesting little thing there. He says he was born topside, so he doesn't think he ever had the stone sense.
Did you hear? Androste's ashes have been found.
What?
In Ferelden too.
Mother Baldwin said that's just some hoax.
Mother Vorlin is a half-blind old cow. No one knows Androste came from Ferelden. It makes sense they'd bring her ashes back here.
Jeez.
Those ashes are so old they'd be dust by now. I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, me either. I wouldn't believe a word of that. Well, we've got 17 lesser health potions, but hey, this time I'm gonna poison my weapon, and we are going to try to get in.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Are the dwarves all American? Like I'm trying to think of, well, Bowden doesn't have a very American accent, but
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the royal seal. That means only the assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Run to your false king. The dwarves will not hear him today.
You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
Though I don't know what help you will find.
So I think since our last failure to get in here, I think I've taken a couple more points into persuasion. I'm so thankful that I didn't have to fight those guys. All is forgiven, Dragon Age. All is forgiven. Alright. Orzammar, Hall of Heroes. Are they gonna have some weird pseudo-Viking thing going on?
Trust Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
Not wanting outsiders to see your infighting.
If there is anything complimentary to be said about these people, it is that they possess a remarkable facility for carving stone.
Always so cynical.
Pity for a poor old man.
No. Not with Morgan in the party. We're not showing pity to anybody.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Blanca, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that. Not to me, not to anyone. Get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
No, I wanted to get a look at these dwarven females for science. Yeah, they strangely they look just like the only part of them that's actually physically different is that they have shorter legs. Paragon. Hang on. Hrilden. I don't know. With a name like Hrilden. I actually can't go back there, can I? Okay.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denham in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness was credit.
I thought.
Was that an actual rare positive interaction between Morrigan and Alistair? He sounded so fed up and done with the conversation, though. That was great. Alright.
And I'm off.
And I'm off. Without the archdemon to lead them to the surface, the Darkspawn remain below in the deep roads, battling the dwarves. Few, save for the Grave Wardens, know anything about them. Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering. Like, are the deep roads... I think we might be getting a cutscene here. Okay, I'll be quiet.
It is the assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
Handlers, separate these dashers in the diamond quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Jeez. Good grief. Get bodied. We're just standing there like, we should go. Like, let's leave. Oh, he didn't kill that guy. He just... okay.
Rieta, surfacer. I hate to let you walk the commons, but keep your place.
Unless he's a different guy.
Or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Aeromont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Paragons?
Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperin, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
This is a man who respects his history and culture of his people.
Yes, you should.
Okay, so I noticed the dialogue option there had us, or it gave us the ability to talk. It was like, it sounds like I should talk to those two guys. This feels like a civil war is kind of going on here, and not so much that we're going to have to choose sides, but it feels like we might have some option to back one party over the other.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what the city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive. Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
Sounds like there's some bias there.
Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont. The city is torn apart. King Endrin is dead, and the Assembly can't decide who takes the throne, Lord Harrowmont or that monster Balin.
So why do you hate Balin so much?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died up bed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
Oh, jeez. So who are you?
I am Marav Helmi, third daughter of the second matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger, what brings you to Orzammar at such a time?
This is one of the few times where it feels like it genuinely doesn't matter that I tell them the truth and tell them I'm a Grey Warden. Because it seems like the dwarves, they don't care what the humans have going on with their petty squabbles, which is great.
Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you need?
Who has the authority to defend against a blight? Well, actually 3.
A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Faringer. He might be able to get you an audience.
This is weird. The dwarves have these, like, Gaelic slash almost Scandinavian names, and their culture and aesthetics seem to be very much of the same, but they all have Nug Wrangler Bormar Boamore. I'll leave you alone for a second. It's just interesting that they all have blatantly American accents.
Do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure.
You look like you're not from around here.
How could you tell?
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Okay, hold on. It's my third option here is to say you're crazy. Dwarves can't do magic. Is that real? Can they not? Does my character know that without me ever? Yeah, or does this really come down to you just want to leave Orzammar? Because I wouldn't blame you at this point. Well, why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
There was so much there. Okay, the Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences and over time made us immune to them. Okay, but she said spiritual influences. So magic does come, like, we know it comes from the spiritual realm, but we know there is a connection between faith and magic in this universe now. Like, we've got a character actually kind of telling us that. At least, let me back up. What I mean by that is, like, that magic itself stems from the supernatural as a source. Because, I mean, obviously they're very connected with the Templars and the Circle. Why don't you read about axes and ale like a proper dwarf?
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface, and the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
I could be mean to this sweet girl. I feel like if I want to take her request, Morgan's gonna hate that though.
What do you mean? Oh, you're looking for payment. My father's shop refines lyrium for smithing. If you help me, I'm sure I could get you some.
So lyrium can be used in smith. So is lyrium like mercury? Like, is it an actual metal?
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar at the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
She is so genuinely excited. Holy cow! Like, oh, that was sweet. I like her.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them where they skip.
You can't find your nuggies?
That supplier in Dusttown. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say.
Okay, I don't.
Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
Lost Nug. He needs his chicken nuggies. Alright, we have... I didn't see you standing there.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you, and I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Okay, hold on. Hold on. For one, Garen Garanson. The last name being like Garanson, like I said, very Nordic sounding. But is he talking about the dog or is he talking about Alistair? Uh, are you all right?
Right. I have some lovely things here. Lyrium enhanced, of course.
What a stutter. Tome of Physical Technique. Yeah, heck yeah. Golden Mirror? Ah, of course it's a gift. I. So are the gifts just straight up like gender specific more than character specific? As I'm still struggling to figure out who to give what. Okay. Oh, we're back around here at the center, I guess. Oh, she's right there. Okay, cool. We'll remember that for the future.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
I bet if we chose a dwarf, we'd have a different dialogue there.
My name is Filda.
Filda.
Of the Smith Cast. I pray here every day for my son Ralph. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago.
Oh, no, he's dead, honey.
He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. Captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way.
Realistically, though, your son's dead or he's named after footwear.
Perhaps his body could be recovered. His bones. Something to ensure his spirit is not trapped forever.
How many bones do you think are down there? I bet if I say if I'll leave you with your grief, I'll still get the quest. Oh, that was weird. No, we didn't get the quest. That's okay. I don't think we're going to the Deep Roads anytime soon. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the quest.
Did you wish to make an offering after all?
these dialogue options, like I wasn't here 3 sec. Ruck.
You seem sympathetic. It would mean a lot to me to have him back safely, or even to recover his body for a proper funeral.
Do the rogue thing.
You asking what I would pay for your services? I have little money since my husband died. But wait, I saved his shield, the masterpiece my husband Smith. I was saving it for Ruck's return. If someone were to find my son or his body, they can have the shield with my blessing.
Cool.
How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. Warden, so you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
That makes me think that once we go to the Deep Roads, we're not just gonna die down there. So that's good.
What is that smell? Dwarven vomit. Charming.
Are we near the Dwarven Bar? Okay, this guy has got to be a general goods store, right?
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old
way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
Hmm.
I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
You don't know that. Interesting lure trap plans. That's funny. I guess I don't know if I've seen these at stores before, but that is very funny. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Looks like we have a chance to get another good dagger. So it is better. 100. It is definitely better than the enchanted dagger, so we're gonna buy it. Golden symbol of Andraste. I feel like that's something we can give to, you know, Liliana. That's her name. Yeah. Geez, there seems to be a lot of gifts that we can buy. I guess you got to really work to get your girlfriends and boyfriends liking you, huh? Okay. We've got another quest giver.
Maker's blessing.
His voice sounds familiar.
I'm Brother Burke of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers.
Sounds like you shouldn't interfere with their religion.
You speak as if these people have deliberately chosen to reject the Maker, but most of them haven't even heard his name. How can they choose the path of enlightenment if they never learn that the path exists? The Shaper it controls changes. Orzammar's
Shaper it.
society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer.
Oh, a prayer. I'm sorry, but like it's really weird to hear. Like the phrase "prayer meeting" sounds so contemporary, you know. Like next he's gonna be talking about. Yeah, I'm really thinking about taking a mission trip out, and you know. Oh, that's great. That's great. Like I said, it just sounds so weird.
Oh, I hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
An explanation of the Dwarven caste system. What is that? Oh, this is what nugs are. They're like big rat things. Oh my gosh. We just picked him up and put him in a box. We gotta give the guys nuggies. Be like, hey buddy, did you want some honey mussy with your nuggies? Yeah. Look, another one.
Go on, I'm out of the nut game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude. You find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Okay, so this is a repeatable quest?
You're the best wrangler I've ever... I trust Vala, my nut wrangler.
Illyria, the Nug Wrangler. But what I was gonna say is, like, you know, the whole Tendies thing is pretty cringy, but good actual grief, calling them Nuggies is like an affront to humanity. Figors, imports, general armors. Oh, we were actually by we were by a tavern over there. Taverns are where quests are. You know, I just paused the game. You probably noticed that. Because I've been playing games where you press a spacebar to jump, and I wanted to just jump like an idiot. Tapster's Tavern. What a name. What a name for a tavern. Oh, yeah. There's going to be quest givers in here.
Told him I don't understand why the province aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me. Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother. Doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
Yeah, word does seem to travel fast.
You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly without keeping an ear to the stone. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out.
I know, I just tower over you.
Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
You know, taverns are where revolutions start, my friend. So tell me about this caste system.
Well, it's simple, I guess.
Sorry, I tried to mute my microphone, but
Elected deshers of the Assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill.
that was a really weird way to word that. That of your same-sex parent. So your caste is passed down to you by who, like, okay, if you're a woman, it's from your mother. If you're a man, it's from your father.
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality.
So who are you voting for?
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrimont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that. And subtle as sin. I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. As you wish.
That's really interesting. Okay, so far I'm. Oh, look at him go! Look at him go! Okay, so far I'm way more interested in what's going on here in Orzammar than I thought I would be.
Get away. You change like the rest. Monsters hidden in all my friends. They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, older than the ones in Song. Dormant my arse. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
What? I'll check that codex entry later. Just some generic patrons. Looks like we have 2 more people we can talk to. I mean, we could talk to the waitress, but hang on, there he is.
Afternoon, stranger. Looking for a stool to share a brew?
Who are you?
Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's expeditionary field unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, wardens. I was in the deep roads when that one came by. What was his name?
Duncan.
I met him, sure.
solid. He knows what we go through in the deep roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. More crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow. We're not the only ones.
Who's sending you out?
Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost ties. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after.
Who's Bronca?
Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
Well, that was an interesting little song, following up a good little bit of info about the Grey Wardens. Cora.
Atrastvalis, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you?
Tell me about the city.
So you come to Tapsters. I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view.
Mole's eye view, that's great.
It's the bureau of all the Shapers in Orzammar, led by the Shaper of Memories. If you're from the surface, I guess you'd call them scholars. They keep all of our records, laws, genealogies.
Okay.
If you have questions about Orzammar's history, and don't mind answers in words as long as your leg, that's the place to go.
So where can I find the Shaper of Memories?
You'd be in the Diamond Quarter. Pardon, the Nobles District. Upstairs from here, however you call it.
Is there any place I should see while I'm here?
The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the castlists build their nests. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving.
What's the Proving?
It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their skills. There's a tournament today. Arenas between here and the Diamond Quarter.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
A Grey Warden is always welcome in Tapsters.
It's funny, she's like, "Oh, you want news on the town and you come to a bar?" Yeah. It's like, okay, I live in the South. If you want to know anything about what's going on in there's another nug. If you want to know anything about what's going on in a southern town, especially a small southern town, you figure out where the old men sit and drink coffee. The town that I went to university in had a chicken place that they have stuff other than chicken, but they're well known for their chicken, and it's really good. They had, I'm just looking for nugs now, boy. They had have really good breakfast there, and I mean talking like biscuits and gravy, that kind of stuff, typical Southern fare. Well, this is something up ahead. We'll check this in a second. But basically, it was a place where all the old men in town would sit and drink coffee in the mornings because that's what they do. and you would get all kinds of insights into local politics and the locals going on. Ah, come here, little boy. Nug. What's up?
What's this? An elf? Sorry, I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Why do you need patrols?
Don't let the comm fool you. The Darkspawn are down there, aren't they, Commander?
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
They've made their move on the surface.
But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening.
What do you know about Paragon Bronca?
What anyone knows. She went out there with her entire house and she's never coming back.
You don't think maybe she's still there, Commander? She is a paragon, after all.
And now she's an ancestor. No one lasts 2 years in the tunnels.
He sounds like Sully from Uncharted. Are Darkspawn the only danger in the tunnels?
Of course not. Down here you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin.
Deep stalkers?
Ugly beasts they are. Walk on 2 legs, but they have the head of a worm. Hunt in packs. Watch out. They're not afraid to take on a group their own size.
I don't like that. I hate that.
Alright, for your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
I feel like it would have been interesting to tell him that we were a Grey Warden. He would have been like, oh, yeah. Okay. I think that's our door to... Yeah, that's our door to the Diamond Quarter. So that's probably... Actually, we're going to turn in our...
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. There's more out there.
Gosh, I'm so scared. Does our journal tell us how many nugs there are? Orzammar. Oh my gosh, we have so many. Speak to the Lords of the Assembly. The leadership of Orzammar... Oh, that's unfortunate that there was a typo there. The leadership of Orzammar is in chaos. Addressing the Assembly seems like the likely place to start looking for a solution. The Chamber of the Assembly is in the Diamond Quarter. Yes. Lord Harrowmount is one of the 2 men who could take the throne. To earn an audience with Harrowmount, you must speak to Dulin Forinder. You can find Dulin either in Harrowmouth's estate in the Diamond Quarter or in Tapster's Tavern. Okay. Dagna's quest. Okay. So I guess that's an unmarked quest for our buddy there. Let's... Okay, I'm noticing this quest is titled A Paragon of Her Kind. Gain Orzammar's aid in battling the Blight. I'm guessing it has something to do with that paragon that we've heard multiple things about. But we want to do that. But anyway, it's about that time. I'm actually really interested to see where things are going here in Orzammar. This place is actually way more interesting than I was expecting, and it's more visually interesting, and the people are more interesting. And I do find it kind of funny that apparently the dwarves are all Americans. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Your viewership means a lot to me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye.